Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Ask Coach V. Hello, Coach Ivon.
Hey, Coach V. Hey, everyone. Welcome. It's going to be a good one.
Oh, it's going to be a good one. I'm so excited, full of energy to be here with all of you and bring you guys some value, some strategy, some great mindset. So, Coach, tell us here what we're going to do today.
Yeah, let's do it. So for those of you that know, this will just be a little refresher. For those of you that are watching for the first time, Ask Coach V is a series where we do exactly what the title says. We ask Coach V. So I go out there, I look on, social media groups on the internet. I take what I see agents saying, what our clients are saying, all this sort of stuff. And I find some good questions and I bring them to Coach V so we can hear what a veteran agent, a veteran coach, someone who works with, hundreds of agents every day has to say about it. And I'm telling you, at least it's some great conversation. We cover a lot of different topics and I believe a lot of gold, a lot of value, right, Coach?
Oh, yes. Plus, you get focus, you get some of our energy, you can emulate, what we're saying, what we're doing, and we have a great time together. So I'm so ready, Coach. I'm pumped. So what you got there for me?
Yeah, so I got two very different sort of conversation starters here. I'll start with the first one. This one is kind of a question, kind of a statement, but I think it leads to a good conversation. I saw this posted in some group and it led to answers from agents, very extreme in different directions. So I want to see what you have to say about it. So I'm just going to read word for word what I copied. The clients created a database and itemized each concern, permits, zoning, etc. The expectation is that I fill it out and address all of the questions there. How would you proceed? I'm starting to feel like I'm their admin person. Okay, so in this situation, I think my understanding of it is we have a buyer's agent, maybe a listing agent. I didn't read everything, but we have a real estate agent working with a very demanding client that's asking a lot of questions, giving the person a spreadsheet saying, hey, I want you to fill in all this information on the house that I'm about to buy. And I want you to tell me about the zoning, the permits, this and that. And the agent is like, wait a minute, do I do this? Do I not do this? They're feeling kind of overwhelmed maybe. So in the responses, I saw a lot of different things, agents reacting strongly to this. What is your opinion on this sort of situation? How should this agent proceed, Coach?
Coach, this is such a great question. I'm here grinning because so typical from an analytical buyer. Would you agree?
Yeah. Here's the spreadsheet with all my questions. Fill it out, answer them, bring them back.
I bet he's an engineer or a computer science guy or, like an internet kind of guy. First of all, everyone, remove your emotions. You got to become a chameleon when you sell. You got to become a chameleon because you may be not that analytical. And I appreciate that. I'm not that analytical. But those people, they love a structure, a scientific approach, a method. But actually, by my opinion, he's actually or she's actually making your job easier. Now, but for us, the expressives and even the amiables, the analytical people can be very difficult. So he put together this sheet, right, Coach? So first of all, have a meeting with them. It seems to me like, do you think they had a buyer's presentation with this buyer, Coach Ivon?
Probably not. I mean, we don't even know if they have a buyer's agreement because honestly, if I have a buyer's agreement with someone and I know I'm the one representing them, I know I'm helping them, I'm putting in the work. At the end of the day, it's just a list of questions. And exactly. Aren't you obligated to answer their questions? Right. So like you said, it kind of makes it easier. But if you don't have a buyer's agreement and you're just showing homes to some random person and they come with a 2-meter long list of questions, now maybe this person's feeling like, oh, I'm going to do all this legwork and for what? So exactly. It's hard to know if we don't know if they have that buyer's agreement or if they did that presentation.
Oh my God, it's such a great point, Coach. Because again, if you don't have standards, any opportunity seems like gold, right? So first of all, I hope you had a buyer's agreement, a buyer's presentation where you set the structure and you ask all the great question and then have a buyer's agreement. So you have this person really with the representation set for you. And then make sure you explain because he is analytical. He likes a scientific approach. He wants all his questions answered. And then you say, okay, Yvonne Martin, let's pretend you're my buyer. Yvonne, Listen, I will answer all your questions. As you know, I'm in your team. I have the fiduciary duty to protect you, to disclose to you everything I know. Now, yes, I will answer all your questions. Now, I want to clarify something. As a buyer, you also have the fiduciary duty to do your own investigation. So some of the things I'm not going to be doing for you because it's part of your due diligence, because you have to call and find out about those things, because I don't want it to be hearsay. Oh, my agent said that. So I'm going to do my due diligence, my part, and you also have to do yours. So again, first of all, everyone, the person who wrote this post, you got to make sure you set the expectations, you really educate your buyer, and then go over the questions, because once you explain the questions and you show them that you're not just winging it and you have a systematic approach, then you're going to make sure this buyer is going to be happy. Would you agree, Coach?
Yeah, that makes sense. And honestly, you brought up exactly the point without me asking that I was about to say, because I was going to say, I saw a couple agents commenting, hey, doesn't the buyer have responsibility to do due diligence? And I was going to ask you, hey, where do you draw the line there? How much do you go do for them, and what do they find out? But it's like you said, you don't want anything to be hearsay. So, you answer questions that you can answer, but you also make sure they know that they need to go and look into this stuff so they do their due diligence, right?
Exactly. Anything related to permits, anything related to city assessments and zoning, they should do themselves. You can guide them, call this number, talk to this person. Here's 2 person you can talk to, but don't do for them, because it always happens, right? If shit's going to hit the fan, always does. Isn't it true? What goes wrong, always go wrong, and they're going to blame you, and here comes a lawsuit. I'm so proud and honored that I sold over 1,000 homes, Coach. I never had a lawsuit. I actually never went to arbitration, because I never cut corners. I take the time to explain, educate, and make a clean educate, and let them know what to do. My team always came in. So don't cut any corner. Educate, do your buyer's presentation, get your buyer's agreement. If he likes to be really detailed, have him talk the modality he likes. Explain everything. Have your assistant help you too. That's why it's good to set a lot of appointments, make a lot of money, because then you can have help. Now, some people, let me give an example. Some people, when you do your job really well, when you build a momentum, Coach, you have the ability to choose who you want to work with. Remember my client, Rob, Coach?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He came to me, he said, after, he started with us, he was earning about $59,000. He was a buyer's agent. We built his business, we built his team, his mindset. Now, last year, you know how much he did last year? $2 million in gross commission, over 80 million in volume. Over 80 million in volume, $2 million in GCI. And we practice a lot of things in his business because he's very expressive and he's very outgoing. But you know what? I remember like yesterday, 2 years ago, Coach, he told me, Coach, I don't want to work with analyticals anymore. Is that okay if I work only with the expressives and the drivers? The analytical, they ask so many questions. They want to know this, they want to know that. And they are calling me all the time because they are so anxious and they want to participate. Because remember, the analytical, they love the process, don't they?
Yeah.
They want to be part of it. So I said, that's the beauty of having a pipeline full. That's the beauty of having a business that is always in momentum. I said, give your buyers, analytical buyers, to your team. Coach them on how it's supposed to do, and then choose who you want to work with. Isn't it great to have that kind of power, to have the power to choose who you want to work with?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, before we finish this question, move to the next one. Let's say you're not there yet. You don't have a team, so you have to work with the person. And as in you have to take them yourself, so you don't have anyone to pass them on. How do you deal with a buyer that, okay, it's great, he has his list of questions, he's analytical, but he also needs to do his own due diligence, he needs to figure it out. But how do you deal with a buyer that is maybe too much, asking too much, demanding too much, telling you to go do this and do that and find this and send them that? I mean, what should an agent do in that situation?
I appreciate that. So let's imagine that you didn't do a buyer's presentation or even have a buyer's agreement. You reset an appointment. You set an appointment. Now you're going to do the presentation. So let me remind you this. By the way, Coach, this is a great question. Listen, if you don't set expectation, if you don't take control of your buyer is going to take control of the show. He's going to step all over you. And very soon he's going to lose faith and confidence in you, because you seem like you're just a puppet running around doing things. You're not explaining, you're not taking charge. Sooner or later, he's going to think, you know what, honey, maybe Paul doesn't really know what he's doing. Let's talk to Mary. You see, so my point is stand up. Talk with confidence. You go to a doctor, the doctor like, let me see, maybe you do the blue pill. Oh, no, maybe the red pill. What do you think? No, the doctor takes charge, right? You know what? Great question, Yvonne. This is what we're going to do. Blam, blam, blam. In my 10 years, 30 years, or my many years experience, this is what I know. Blam, blam, blam. This is what we're going to do. So first of all, take charge of your buyers. You are the expert. I don't care if you're 3 months in the business, you know more than he does. And if you don't know, go start in the business. And number 2, explain the situation, answer the questions, and say, great, this is a great question. This is what I'm going to do. This is part of your due diligence. So set the standard, set the expectation, educate, prepare the buyers, and take control with confidence. I would say this too. Isn't it true?
I was going to say that's the big one, right? You got to set those expectations early. And set expectations isn't just, hey, here's how the process works. Here's what you can expect. It's also, look, here's how we're going to communicate.
Yeah,
here's our communication plan. Here's how often I'm going to reach out to you. Here's when I'm going to give you updates. Here's how you can reach me from this time to this time. I'm working on finding your home, right? If you call me, I'll call you back. All of these things that people don't do. And then all of a sudden they just give away their schedule.
So true. Now, I love this. And by the way, some people are crazy, by the way. I had a client that we set all the expectation, but she would throw fit. Later I found out she was depressed and crazy. And I should help her because I thought sometimes God gives me a difficult client because he wants me to improve my negotiation skills, also my diplomacy. She would call us, coach. And if we didn't return the call, like a half an hour, she would call back and leave crazy message. What are you guys doing? So finally, even though we set expectation, I said, look, this is how we work here. Sometimes we're busy with clients. Can I stop anybody to talk to you? If I were with you, you didn't want me to do that. So please remember, your message will be returned in the same morning. Your email is going to be returned. We're here to serve, but we not open all the time just for you. We help a lot of people, and sometimes we might be with your buyers. So again, take control, set expectation, speak with confidence. So write this down for me. All of you listen to this. You can say anything to anyone if you have enough empathy, respect, and consideration. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. You can be strong and assertive. You don't have to be annoying or arrogant or a bitch or an asshole. Say it nicely. Hey, Yvonne, I appreciate all your questions. I'll return to you. This is when I'll be able to answer questions. And this is when I will call you. I love the way you said, set expectation, how the modality of conversation, when you're going to talk, and tell them, I'm working.
Be matter of fact about it, right?
Yes, just like a
doctor. When you go to any sort of appointment and they tell you, hey, these are our hours, this is when we can set appointments, this is where we return calls, you don't get upset because it's just the way it works. So we forget that we also have a business and we can also set our standards.
I love it. Now, can I say something more about this, coach? Because it's important. Listen, everyone, I'm looking at camera, I'm looking right in your eyes. You train your clients how to treat you. You train your clients how to treat you. If he texts you and every 5 seconds you text him back, you just created a precedent. You said, I don't have anything else to do. I'm here on your back and call. Every time I text, you text, I'm going to text back. Now he's condition. If he texts you at 10:30 at night or email you or call you, you answer, you just create a precedent. So you define your time. Again, you have to have minimum standard. This is my type of client. This is the times I work. This is what I do. And here's how I set my expectation. So anyways, I know I'm going deep here in coaches because I get excited about this.
It's good because the next question is a little more of a fluff question and it won't be as deep. So we got some good conversation on this one. I think we killed that one. So look, guys, do your buyer's presentations, get your buyer's agreements, set your expectations, and make sure that you take charge of the process and you won't have to feel like the admin person. So let's move to this next question. So I think you'll like this one. You might have to think a little bit. So what has been the fastest listing you ever got? And where did you get it from? For me, it was a call I got from a newspaper ad. So I guess they just got to come list me from a newspaper ad. So I know that you had a lot of different lead sources going, and I know that you would get come list me calls, from your farm, from your database. But can you think of any specific time where you decided, like, you know what, I'm going to do this, and you got a listing like that, like a really fast result?
Oh, how do I get the listing fast result?
Yeah. So what has been the fastest listing you ever got from how? Like you decided, you know what, today I'm going to do X, and immediately you got a listing from it. Could you think of any scenario like that?
Well, I can tell you also a fast sale.
Yeah, sure. We can do that because it's a little different when I
I
think
have
when you
so
have
many.
so many lines of business and you have listings coming to you and business coming to you, it's a little
Okay.
different, right?
So this story is really cool. Let me tell you the story. I have many. I have like meeting people in the morning, selling their home in the afternoon, and getting the listing the same day. But this is a good one.
Pick a good one.
Okay. So I went to a listing appointment, coach. I went to a listing appointment because you see, I always put them back to as many as I can the same day. If they hot, they have to sell. I booked every day because, they can meet someone else strong like me tomorrow and I am a goner, right? So many times I set 4 or 5 listing appointments in a day. So that lady, I went at, I think it was 7:45 at night. I went to a listing appointment at her house, right? I went, had kids, dinner with my kids and went out for the listing appointment. So I go over there to her house. I remember so well. And then I am there and I did my listing presentation and then I closed for the listing. The moment I closed, she went like this. I said, oh, thank you. I said, why are you applauding? She said, because you are awesome. I said, what do you mean? She said, someone else came here before you. And she just told me everything I need to do with the house. And she was not really nice to me. And she never even closed for the business. She said, I'm in sales. I know you're supposed to ask for the business. And you ask very elegantly. I said, great. So I got the signature. So I'm excited. Right there, I said, great. Now I know you are selling your home and you want to buy at home in a different location, you're upgrading. I said, what do you want? So I got a signature and I start talking to her. What do you want? Tell me more about what you want. And she said, well, I want this, I want this, I want that. And because of this, because of that. And I said, Mary, let's pretend her name is Mary. I said, Mary, it's so funny you saying this because I just listed a home yesterday that fits everything that you want. And I know it's going to go like this. Would you like to see it right away? She goes, yeah. I said, hang in there. In the listing appointment, I already got the listing. I call my seller. Hey, Joanna, Vanda here. Got a second? She goes, yeah. I said, look, I know it's kind of late, 8 o'clock, but I have a buyer here with me. She's perfect for your home. And you know how it goes. We don't want to miss anything. So perfect. By any chance, can I come over right now and show your home? She goes, oh, Vanda, you're amazing. She said, no problem. I'm going to go for a walk with the dog. She'll go for a walk. And I take my client to Brookside. Brookside. I take my client to the walk, to the house. We show the house. She goes, oh my God, Vanda, you're right. It's exactly what I wanted. I said, great. Let's go back to your house. Let's write an offer. And you can get it because this baby's going to go fast. We went back to her house, wrote an offer because I drove her there. And next day, I sold her listing, her house, and I sold my listing that I listed the day before. Isn't it a great story? Oh,
pretty good. Pretty good. I don't think we can beat that right now. That's awesome.
So time is important. So you know what, everyone, 10% of my listings, 10 to 12% of my listings are sold because I like working with the best agent in town. And I believe it was me. And what happened is, let me give you this frame of mind and I let you guys go, right, Coach? Because I know you guys got to go out to sell homes. The moment I list a home, as I'm walking to my car, I'm going on my Rolodex mind. I'm giving my age here. Who can buy this home? Who likes this home? Who can I call right now? By the time I get in my car, I already called 2 people. Hey, you know what? Can I tell you about this home? Blah, blah, blah. And many times I sell my listings like that.
There you go.
It's
so
a great story,
moral
right?
of the story, be ready, right? Be ready.
Be ready.
Know your market, know your business, know your stuff, know your people, and be ready.
Awesome. I love it. I love the story. Thank you for letting me share a story. I love to share these great stories.
Yeah, it's good. So, hey, Coach V, 2 great questions today, 2 great answers. I think we shared a lot of knowledge, a lot of gold. If you guys like this, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow Coach V on all her social media, Instagram, Facebook, and share this with someone that could benefit, right? We all have other agents that we care about that we know, hey, they could learn from this too, right? So share this around, right, Coach?
Yeah, share this. For Pete's sake, get energized, get excited. This is a beautiful market. Every market is beautiful and strong and great when you know what to do, when you know how to do it, and your energy is strong and you are talking to people, setting appointments. So go do your magic. Thank you for being here, Coach Ivon. I really enjoyed today's episode and answer those questions and be able to share some of my stories. So thanks again, everyone. Go help a lot of people. See you next time. Thank you. Ciao.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.